during the day.
Right, going to Facebook. Okay, Sylvia, over to you.
Okay, so first of all, let me share my screen and introduce myself. So my name is Sylvia Paul. My business is Lancashire Nutrition, and today we're going to talk about how to protect yourself in the current crazy climate that we're in. So a little bit about me. Way back when, in the dark ages it seems, I left school not knowing what to do. Did some vocational testing. They said, congratulations, you can do anything you want to do. It's like, well, that's helpful. So I did a typing course, invested all my babysitting money. Best thing I ever did, because that has kept me in work pretty much ever since. And it's a skill that never goes away. I worked for a couple of years. I was living in Buenos Aires at the time, and then moved back to the UK a year later and discovered temping. Well, that was much better for me. I could pretty much work where I wanted. Worked in local government, worked in the NHS, ended up working as a data analyst. My best friends were spreadsheets and numbers. Didn't have a lot of time for people, if I'm honest, back then. Then 15 years ago, I had a life-changing back injury, and I was told there was very little chance of recovery. I'd never run, I'd never ride a bike, I wouldn't be able to even sit normally again. I had to have a special cushion. I gained loads of weight, and I'd never been a skinny mini to start off with. And then 12 years ago, I had to lose 6 stone to qualify for infertility treatment. So through those things that life does, I ended up training as a weight management counsellor to work with my friend. Then I got my own franchise, trained as a nutritionist, and then 8 years ago I was introduced to Forever Living products, which was the best thing that ever happened to me. I've lost some weight, but the biggest 2 challenges that I've had at the time is now I no longer need to take painkillers all the time, and my mindset has completely changed. And I'm now training for a triathlon that will probably be postponed, and I haven't needed to use my special cushion for over 5 years. So that's been a much massive improvement. So how do we defend ourselves in the current climate? How do we protect ourselves? There's a number of strands of how we can protect ourselves, you know, from everything that's out there in the big wide world, as it were. Our gut health's important, our nutrition, our skincare, exercise, and I've already mentioned mindset. So nutrition. We need to eat a rainbow of vegetables to get a wide variety of nutrients as possible. We need the right amount of protein for our body, and that can be worked out. If anybody's struggling with that, I'm more than happy to advise. We need to supplement nutrition because food isn't as nutrient dense as it used to be. And we need enough sleep, around 8 hours a night, so we can produce melatonin and HGH, human growth hormone. We think that that's something that maybe athletes take or that children produce, but actually we need it to repair ourselves. And women need more sleep than men. It's one of those things, I'm afraid. We need exercise, ideally in fresh air. Obviously, at the moment, that's pretty much the only option unless you do a living room workout. Although if you're doing it one-on-one with a PT, you can do it outside, as long as you maintain social distancing. Exercise releases endorphins, which help you feel good. That in turn reduces stress. And if you pick something that you enjoy, whether it's cycling, swimming, dancing, whatever it is, you're more likely to keep doing it. So, you know, there's so many options for keeping fit. Pick something you like. Our gut health is very important. You need to drink enough water, around 2 to 3 litres a day. There are ways of working it out exactly how much you need for your body size, but that supports digestive transit, which is the posh name for how long food takes to be processed by your body. People say, you know, it's a saying, you are what you eat. We are what we absorb. And if your gut can't do its job, then you're in serious trouble. It's not only the key to our immune system, it's also a key to the emotional well-being. Literally, when we speak about having a gut feeling, that is where your instinct sits, okay? It's also where serotonin is made from tryptophan, which is an essential amino acid. By essential, we mean it's essential that we get it in our diet because our body can't make it. And if you're running low on serotonin, that can lead to depression. So it's really important that that gut is working well, because otherwise it can lead to trouble. People forget skincare sometimes as part of your health. They think, oh, it's all beauty and vanity, etc. But our skin is our largest organ. Your average human has a skin of 2 square meters or 22 square foot. That's enough. If you look around the house and see the nearest door, you've got enough skin on you. If you're just average sized, you're not taller than average or bigger than average, to cover a full household door, both sides. Okay, that's a lot. It's waterproof. It protects us from pathogens, which are all the nasties out in the environment. It protects us from evaporating. You know, water works both ways. And it protects us from the sun. But we do need some sunshine to make vitamin D. It's one of the jobs that our skin does. And vitamin D is essential for good mood. Now, our skin produces its own antibacterial covering, which is known as the acid mantle. But if you're doing a lot of cleaning, if you're washing your hands a lot and not putting a good moisturizer on, that can disrupt the acid mantle on the skin, and that can lead to problems. It could lead to itchy skin, it can lead to breakouts, it can lead to cracked skin, etc. So, you know, we all know this already, really. We need enough water, we need enough macro and micronutrients, we need our gut to be functioning well, and we need a healthy skin. So we know all this. You know, we're all women running our businesses or working very independently within businesses. We set our plan out, we plan our diet, we plan our schedule, we plan our life. Everything's absolutely perfect, and then life happens. And life has a way of throwing you off course. Not just this pandemic, but other stuff we've all had, I'm sure, over the years. They say that, you know, every 5 years you have a major unexpected event in your life that can throw you off course. And when I look back on my life, certainly they've been there. You know, the average don't last. And we just get on with it. You know, we work a 12-hour day for ourselves because we don't want to work an 8-hour day for somebody else. We do as best we can the housework. I mean, I've missed off kids there because I don't have any kids other than the fur kid that sometimes jumps on Zooms. But, you know, there's the kids to sort out. There's the business paperwork because that's an extra, right? Then we run around the supermarket because we need to do the food shop. We throw everything in, make sure there's, oh yeah, let's have some vegetables. Maybe put in a bit of a treat in for ourselves, whether it's bubbles or something else. I had to put Nutrianis in there. Apart from anything else, ice cream is my personal thing. I'd rather have that than shampoos any day, but not everybody is different. And then we wonder why we feel a bit like the picture on the screen. You know, we might not look like it on the outside, or maybe we do, but in our heads we feel bloated and tired and run down, and we're just crawling through life. Okay, so what can we do to help that? There is help at hand, and for me personally, that massive help came in the form of an amazing plant that we've known about for literally millennia, aloe vera, and that's a aloe vera plantation with a subtle product placement in the middle. So the ancient Egyptians used aloe vera. It's actually recorded in hieroglyphics. Big jump to the present, it's actually part of the coat of arms of the Royal College of Veterinary Surgeons since 1844, because vets use it extensively for animal treatment. And people say, oh yes, and it boosts this and it zaps this, and aloe doesn't boost anything. It normalizes how your body works. It helps your body deal with irritation at a very cellular level. So if you think about it, stress is a form of irritation. Your nerves are frayed. Allergies are a form of irritation. It's either itching here or your chest is itchy or whatever. That's an irritation. They say that irritation is the biggest killer of people. All your your long-term conditions, all the rest, they are a result of irritation in the body in some way, shape or form. Illness is the body on red alert, dealing with infection or attack. And what aloe does is it just normalizes and calms all of that. Okay. Why use forever aloe vera? Most companies use and brag about using whole aloe leaf because we've been conditioned that whole grain is better than white bread, etc. Actually, if you look on the screen, it's just that middle clear bit of the leaf that's good for us. The rest is like packaging. Okay. And like any other fruit or vegetable, because that's what aloe is at the end of the day, it's a vegetable, it's a plant. Once you cut it open, it can oxidize quickly unless treated. And Forever have patented a stabilization method that keeps all those nutrients intact. And there's the International Aloe Science Council that certifies the purity of that aloe and the effectiveness of that aloe. I could do a whole class on how that aloe leaf is broken down, but now is not the place. So for me, it's the foundation of a balanced body. You start off, you take a shot of aloe every day. Fitness, nutrition, bathing, they all have to be done regularly. They're best applied often. Okay, you don't have a bath once a year, not nowadays anyway. You don't go to the gym once and expect to be able to do a marathon. It's little and often, every day, every day. Our aloe gels are a brilliant digestive aid. They're high in vitamin C that contributes to the normal function of the immune system and a normal energy yielding metabolism. So it enables your body to use the nutrition in the food that you're taking in better. Plus it protects cells from oxidative stress, that stress that we're all getting. It also supports the immune system and skin health. Now we've got a variety of aloe gels, and which one you have is a matter of personal choice. I personally take a combination of two, one that's particularly good for joints because that's what's helped me with my back injury. My dog takes one because again, it's good for joints. My parents drink a couple of them. It's which one's best for you, and that I'm very happy to discuss with anybody. Now, for the nutrition nerds, there's a lot of information on this slide. There are over 75 nutrients in aloe vera gel, and these are the ones that we know about because as time goes on, we find out more and more things. There's 14 minerals, including calcium, magnesium, manganese, potassium, sodium, chromium, copper, zinc, and iron. Lignin in the aloe is what gives the aloe topical products the ability to go through the skin into the dermis. Saponins are naturally occurring cleansing substances. 13 different vitamins, key amongst which are A, C, and E. Also trace amounts of B12, which is extremely unusual in a plant. Amino acids. Of the 20 amino acids that we require as humans, because we cannot make, aloe contains 19 of those. And it contains 19 of the 20 that we require. and certainly 8 of the ones that we cannot produce. Some we can produce as a result of what we take in. It contains enzymes including amylase and lipase, which help us to digest our food. And it contains sugars. Now people say, oh, it has sugar in it. We need some sugars. We don't mean Tate and Lyle white powdery stuff. What we mean is monosaccharides, glucose, fructose, which occur naturally in fruit and vegetables. And the main one, long chain polysaccharides, ace-mannan, which is not broken down by the gut, but it's absorbed whole. And ace-mannan has now been distilled and made artificially. It has plant sterols, including luteol and salicylic acid, which in a commercial format we know as aspirin. Now, it doesn't have huge amounts of this, but it has the right balanced combination of these for our bodies. Okay. In addition to aloe, I recommend some essential supplements. Okay. Now, other brands are available, but obviously I'm wedded to this brand. But we always recommend that you take a probiotic. It helps healthy digestion. It helps nutrient absorption. It helps your gut to work better, especially if you've been on a course of antibiotics, because that kills all of your biome. Your biome resides in your gut. It's what helps you digest your food. We have ImmuBlend, which is a combination of natural botanicals and proven ingredients, key amongst which is zinc and vitamin D. That helps your immune system. Okay, we had a webinar this morning, and the top 5 products while we've been in lockdown, that's in the top 5, no surprises. Our aloe is number 1, or probably always will be. Arctic Sea, that has omega-3s. Omega-3s are essential for your immune system, your cardiovascular system, your digestive system, your brain and your eye health. If you go on a very low-fat diet, your brain will suffer. So don't be depriving your body of the essential nutrients it needs. And Forever Daily, a balanced multivitamin for everybody. Okay. I'm very happy to discuss any of these products with anybody individually. We also have, we've spoken about the skin being essential. We have what I consider essential skincare. A hand soap, we're using loads of hand soap now because we're washing our hands a lot more. We're hyper vigilant. We need a hand soap that is pH balanced, one that isn't going to dry your hands out, crack your skin. That leads to your infection being able to get in. And alongside washing your hands more, you need to moisturize that skin. Okay, our propolis cream has the aloe vera gel and bee propolis. That is a natural product that the bees use to keep the hive sterile. It is a brilliant barrier cream. It nourishes, it soothes, and it's a pleasure to use. It smells lovely. If anybody would like some samples of that, I can send you out a little sample sachet of that propolis cream. It's beautiful. We tend to forget deodorant. You know, our armpits are skin too. And most antiperspirants use aluminium salts. Aluminium salts have been proven to be a link to breast lumps. So please look at what you're putting on your underarms. This is an effective deodorant. I used to have horrendous problems because of my personal circumstances, finding a deodorant that works, and this works. Okay, but it's also gentle enough that if you've shaved or waxed, you can use it straight away. It doesn't sting. And Forever Bright Tooth Gel. We forget that the lining of our mouths, our gums, they're all made of the same tissue that skin is made of. Okay, it's fresh, it's lovely, it hasn't got any fluoride, so if you choose to use a fluoride toothpaste as well, we suggest maybe you use this one at night and the fluoride one in the morning. It's also very effective for people who are maybe fasting for religious reasons, for example, Ramadan, because your mouth stays fresh for a long time. Okay, but it's very good for gum health. And it's green, so kids think it's fantastic because it's like Shrek toothpaste. Now, I mentioned this to Coral. If you are squeamish, the next slide has some fairly graphic pictures of a burn. So if you'd like to look away or shut your eyes, and I'll tell you when it's safe to open your eyes again. Okay, 3, 2, 1. So this was a friend of mine who poured some boiling water on her hand, and she used our aloe vera jelly, and she applied it very religiously a few times a day for 3 weeks. And those are the before and after pictures. Okay, amazing results. And I've have similar pictures of burns on children, but I just thought it wasn't appropriate to share them here. Okay, that picture's off the screen. So this is a testimonial I got from one of my clients, really. She used to get this awful red rash on her chest, and it was itchy and it was hot. But she was so embarrassed about it because she works as a beautician, so she was really close to her customers. So she'd put on round neck tops and stuff, which would make her even hotter. And it was awful. It was really irritated. So she applied our aloe jelly, and she put it on 3 times, 3 days, one after the other. And the results are clear to see. And this is what she sent me as a message. It's like, I thought I'd lost my aloe gel as I hadn't seen it anywhere for nearly a week. And then yesterday I went into the bathroom to find my boyfriend using it on his face. I thought his dry skin had cleared up. So we may need some more soon. On a serious note, I'm going to send you a before and after picture of using the aloe 3 times on my skin. So that was a friend. I do have a permission to share these pictures, so don't think I'm sharing anything untoward. Last but not least, I have got to share this product with you. It was literally launched at our global rally, which would have been a massive event in Sydney, Australia this year. But it was done as an online party. Forever Focus. I started taking it as soon as it launched, just to try it out really, and within a week I felt the difference. It's been designed to deal with stress and for people with busy lives. I can't think of anything more stressful or busy than the crazy situation we're in at the moment. Cognizin is a copyrighted proprietary supplement, but it's a form of citicoline. It supports mental clarity, assists organized thought, helps you to focus and concentrate. It basically helps your brain work better. And I have felt massive change. My business is running better since I started taking this, I'm not afraid to say. So I had to include that, although it's not strictly related to immunity. So that's kind of the end of the presentation, and I'm happy to take any questions, but just we're in Mental Health Awareness Week, and a lot of people know Forever Living as the company that does the C9, which is, a lot of people think that's all about weight loss. Okay, it isn't. It can be used to kickstart a new way of eating or to break bad habits. But just have a think, how much did Florence Nightingale weigh when she founded modern nursing? How much did Rosa Parks weigh when she took that seat on that bus? How much did Malala weigh when she started writing about the lives of girls in Pakistan? You don't know. That's the right answer because it doesn't matter. Okay. So I'm very happy to answer any questions that you might have.
Do you want to stop the share so I can put us all back on gallery view, Sylvia?
Yeah. Bear with me. There we go. Sorry.
That's it. It's okay.
You had to go into it, didn't know how to come out of it. Help.
Okay, so I'll just unmute everybody.
I hope I wasn't talking too quickly for everybody, because I do tend to do that when I'm a bit nervous.
That's fine. I've just unmuted everybody. If anybody's got any background noise they really don't want to be in, then just mute yourselves. And obviously, if anybody's got any questions for Sylvia, then please do shout. I just wanted to ask you a little bit about the deodorant, because I'm a big advocate of not using regular deodorant. I don't, for the reasons that you mentioned. And obviously, that's because in my arena, women, I've come across so many women who've gone through breast cancer, and I'd heard that previously. How do we order and get that, and what's the details of that from you, Sylvia?
So you can order it from, normally I would say let me know and I'll drop it off, but at the moment the best way to do it is to go to my online shop. So I'll just put this in the chat for everybody. And basically you'll have to pay for postage, but postage is only £3 for deodorant. And that will literally go straight to you by FedEx.
Right, great stuff. Because I didn't realise you did the deodorant, because I would be interested in that. And then also the hand cream that you mentioned.
The propolis cream. It's lovely.
I'm going through loads of that.
I'll send you a sample out to try, and you're more than welcome to order it off the shop.
Yeah, I will do.
I say order off the shop because Forever are such a big customer of FedEx that they can post it to you for cheaper than I can put it in the post to you.
Okay. How important do you think it is right now? You know, because I mean, there might be people on here who are fit and healthy, but might have joined this because they want to pick up some tips for people maybe that they are connected to, loved ones, family, etc. What sort of things do you think, is there anything basic that could keep people a little bit more healthy at this stage? I'm going to make a recommendation.
Well, I will admit the aloe gel, the drinking gel for me is a basic, but it's not to everybody's taste. If you take that out of the equation, the next thing I would suggest is a really good multivitamin and a probiotic. I would say those are the two essentials, because the probiotic helps your gut work better. Stress affects how our gut works anyway. So that would be my top two, really.
Yeah, I think that's true. When we first went into this, in that first week of lockdown, I lost weight, like boom, fell off me, you know, without even trying. It just went. And even though I was eating, it just didn't. And that's just your body's reaction, isn't it, to that whole stress that's going on around. With mine settled again now. No, I'm putting it on. But it is true what you say, because your body is affected by everything that's going on in your surroundings and your circumstances, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I go the other way. With stress, I tend to gain weight. There's only once in my life that I've lost weight through stress, but that was absolutely horrendous. I literally forgot to eat for about a week. But otherwise, I generally tend to gain. But even if, whether you're losing or you're gaining, to put it into perspective, the reason we say now we need to supplement our diet is there's a lot of trace elements out there that are quite difficult to get from your diet, even if you have a really healthy diet. I mean, back in Victorian times, when we think of Victorian times as being, you know, horrendous, because we would walk everywhere and to clean the carpets we had to beat them, or we'd ride a horse or whatever. We had a very physical lifestyle. So we would consume between 7,000 and 8,000 calories a day. Okay. Now, consuming that amount of food meant that you got the trace elements that there's very little of in food. You got enough. nowadays, people say to me, oh, I'm on 1,000 calories, I'm on 2,000 calories, how much you eat is right for you. But unless you're a massive bodybuilder training ridiculous amounts, it's unlikely you'll be consuming 7,000 to 8,000 calories a day. I know my PT has about 5,000 a day, and he's that's when he's wanting to build muscle, you know, and obviously an extremely active lifestyle. So unless you're eating ridiculous amounts of food, in which case you've probably got other challenges as a result, you're unlikely to get all the nutrition that you need from a good varied diet even.
Has anybody got any specific questions they'd like to ask Sylvia about or put into chats?
I'd like to ask Sylvia a specific question. Hi Sylvia, thank you very much for that. It was very interesting. I'm a runner, and I do sort of long runs, ultra runs. So I need lots of energy, which I tend to generally just stick to food for. But I think there's something probably missing in my diet that I could add to it. And which of your products do you think would be beneficial to me, given that I need fuel and then sort of recovery for afterwards?
Yeah, so we have got a specific supplement for from a cardiovascular point of view, which I don't know if you've heard of a product called arginine.
Right, okay.
Okay, have you come across arginine?
Haven't, no.
Okay, so the doctor who discovered the effect of arginine on the body actually got the Nobel Prize for his discovery. And what Forever did with that is they've put it into a supplement that's really nice. It's a little powder that tastes delicious mixed with water. And we call it RG Plus, and that's arginine plus a load of vitamins. And it tastes absolutely lovely. If you would like to drop me an email or a message with your address, I can send you out a little sample to try it.
Okay, thank you.
It comes in individual servings. What RG does, what arginine does, is it relaxes the blood vessels and helps the blood carry more oxygen. So anything where your body can carry more oxygen is obviously a good thing. Now, if you're in a running situation, sorry, my mum's calling me. That's mum's for you. If you're in a running situation, you're going to burn through it in about 60 minutes. Okay, now you can use it as a pre-exercise, during exercise, or after exercise. After exercise for recovery.
Right, cool.
She's ringing again. So, I'm really sorry.
She's ringing me now.
Bear with me.
What she hasn't told you there, Jane, is that Sylvia is a runner.
Yes, I saw that on the biography somewhere, yeah.
Yeah, she was actually, she was training for, I think it was for a triathlon.
Yeah, she said.
Before this. Yeah.
That. Mum's panicking because her Ocado deliveries.
Late.
No, it's just arrived. I'll just mute myself 1 second. So.
Yeah, she was training before she went into it. It was gutted because it's obviously a lot of effort, isn't it?
Yeah, I've had a lot of races that I'd entered cancelled as well, so everybody's the same.
Yeah, I had a friend who'd got into the London Marathon this year.
Oh gosh,
it's so difficult to get into.
Yeah, very difficult.
Yeah,
so disappointing. But hopefully it'll be deferred, will it? They'll be able to go and do it next year.
Yeah.
Yeah, what Cora was telling you about. Yeah, hopefully they'll postpone the event.
Yeah.
But yeah, I started with a couch to 5K, and yeah, I can now call myself a runner, which 10 years ago I didn't think I ever would again.
Oh, that's brilliant. Well
so yeah, so
I've got a couple of questions.
Sorry?
Sorry, no, I'm just saying I've got a couple of questions, but when you finish, Sylvia's fine.
Brilliant. Yeah, so I use arginine mainly for recovery, but I will use it beforehand. I've also used it for, they'll just keep on ringing, won't they? Not so persistent as parents. So I use it for recovery. I use it, I also use it as a daily supplement, because that relaxing of the blood vessels that it does also helps with things like regulating your cholesterol. And I'm one of those lucky people who inherited dodgy cholesterol from my dad, so it helps keep that in check without having to take statins, which I'm more than happy to talk to anybody about on a private setting, as it were.
Okay, Julie, you had a question?
I do, yes. I've got a couple of questions, please. One of them, just because you're talking about the arginine, would you know if that's safe to take if somebody takes medication for heart conditions, or would that have to be run through a GP or a consultant first?
Right, so because I'm not a medical person, I can't give medical advice, okay?
No.
What we always say is, it isn't contraindicated as far as we're concerned, but we always advise you to check with your doctor. Now,
right,
because most doctors will, if they don't know something, they'll go, oh no, you can't take it. They sort of default to the can't take it. The way we always say to ask the question is, we can send you a sample of product or send you an information leaflet, and you say to your doctor, or did you say it was your dad?
No, it's my husband.
Your husband, sorry. So you say to your husband's doctor, is there any reason you can see why I can't take this? And generally they'll say, give it a try.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
Because
I'd like some more information on that one, please.
Yeah, definitely. I'm just making a
note.
note.
My second question.
Yes.
Okay. My second question, just the Arctic Sea that you talked about.
Yes.
So I noticed that it said in the listing that it was good for, it had the omega-3, but it was also good for eye health. So I take two separate. So I take a cod liver oil, but I also take another one which is specific for eye health. So I've got have got an eye condition, so I take two separate ones. But maybe I could take one that combines both. Because they're like horse tablets. They're huge, and I hate taking them anyway. So if I could take one instead of two, that'd be great.
Yeah, so actually our Arctic Sea used to come in fairly big capsules, and it got reformulated a couple of years ago, and now you have to take double the number of capsules, but they're little.
Right. They're easier to swallow.
Yeah, definitely.
Right. I would be interested to sort of see the sort of the ingredients in that one if I can. That would be
yeah, definitely.
The information about that one, please. Thank you.
No problem.
That was really helpful, that, Sylvia. I enjoyed that presentation. Thank you.
Thank you. If you pop your email in the chat, I'll make sure I send you the information, if that's all right.
Okay. Yeah, no probs. I'll do it in a minute. I'm on an iPad and, oh, crikey, it's so not compatible to Zooms.
Dear me.
I'll do that.
Has anybody got any other questions?
Thank you.
To Sylvia.
I have, Sylvia. You know the aloe vera gel, like the juices and things like that. Obviously, there's a plain one, and there's obviously ones that's flavoured and things like that. Can I be honest? How bad is the plain one? Because obviously, I know things that are usually super healthy obviously have quite a different taste. What does it taste like just on its own?
It's definitely different. I mean,
yeah. Is it bitter, or has it still got a sweet? You know, has it got any sort of sweetness to it? Obviously, because it's got sugar in it, like a natural sugar.
No, I wouldn't say it's sweet at all. Some people say it tastes a bit like grapefruit juice. Now, hands up, I'm one of the strange people that actually doesn't mind the flavour. I'm not saying I like it, but I don't mind it. But yeah, my dad drinks the berry nectar because when I gave him a taste test, if we were doing this face to face, I'd basically say, have a taste. When he tasted the plain one, he went, "Oh gosh, you're trying to poison me." It's like, okay, Dad, try this one. I always start off with the original because it is the strangest tasting one. Some people, about 10% of people don't mind it at all. Mum adds cordial to hers, and that's fine. The berry nectar is, it has cranberry and it has apple. So if you have any sort of a respiratory condition or any sort of a urinary tract condition, or want to sort of make sure that the health in those two areas are particularly helped, we recommend the berry nectar anyway. It has slightly less aloe because the original one is 99.7% aloe. The berry nectar has 90% aloe, so you're still getting a really good value aloe wise. And I always say, if you're not going to drink it, it's going to be wasted. So, and the peaches one was actually designed for children, but the people that drink it most tend to be rugby players who are afraid to let on that they don't like the taste of the other one, because the big muscly men and they go,
it can be put in with other things. If you didn't like the taste of it, it doesn't dilute it down. It's because it's been ingested. It's fine.
Yeah, I mean, I actually mix mine with my sachet of Argy in the morning now anyway, so that gives it a fruity flavour anyway. I have a bit of a cocktail because I also chuck in some super greens there as well, so it looks very green. But it's finding one that works for you. Any one of them will give you really good health results because the amount of aloe is very high.
Lovely, thank you.
Yeah, so with my water, I add in just a drop or two of the orange doTERRA.
Yeah.
Could you put that in the yellow one?
You could, yeah. Personally, I would say don't use something as good as a doTERRA oil into a flavour that you're not going to really appreciate it. Keep that for your water to like use it. You could use it as well. As I say, Mum puts good old black and apple, she calls it, blackberry and apple cordial into hers. And she still gives a little shudder every morning, but she finds it gives her amazing results. She uses the one that's for joints, so and that has a flavour a bit reminiscent of burnt orange sort of thing. Mum actually started to take the aloe, went after a month, she went, I don't think I can continue, I can't handle the flavour. And then a year later came back to me, she says, I'm going to have to give it another try because her hands, she was waking up in the morning, she couldn't close her hands beyond about there. And she does a lot of knitting, she does cake decorating, all that sort of stuff. And actually my dad started taking it because Mum thought he was getting dementia. And because he plays the piano a lot and he kept on missing notes. And then Dad very quietly had a word with me and said, that stuff that your mum takes, would it work for me? I was like, no reason why it shouldn't, Dad, give it a try. I mean, all our products come with a 60-day money back guarantee, even if it's my parents that are buying it. So, you know, the company would have given him his money back. And he says, well, give it a try because he says, I'm missing notes because my fingers won't bend properly. And that was his, I mean, the piano is his big passion. It's what's keeping him safe during lockdown. And yeah, he's now been on it for 3 years. And he now spends, before lockdown again, he would go twice a month to one of our local care homes and play for 2-3 hours. You know, roll out the barrel and all the good old sing-songy ones and get all the old ears singing. We say he's doing market research for when he's in his home.
Any other questions for Sylvia about any of the stuff that she's mentioned? You've got a few little people have put their details in the chat for you there, Sylvia.
Yep, I've saved the chat, so.
Great stuff. And it also looks, while we've been on here talking about the immune system, that we've also got some Couch to 5K challenges taking place. Deirdre?
Yeah, this is something I've been wanting to do. I started it last year and I was just too unfit. I couldn't even get past the first level, you know, the first step. It was just my breathing gets really bad when I try running. My chest hurts a lot. So I just need to build up my fitness. That's all it is. And yeah, but I want to do it. I want to run.
So
I wouldn't go for
Jackie's,
a marathon.
Is Jackie's fate going to keep you accountable then, Jackie?
What's that?
I don't think I'm the best person to keep anybody accountable, really. I keep saying I'm going to do it with the lads. We've said we're going to start running on the prom, and we did start it a few years ago, and we didn't get past the first one either. So I know how you are with that. I could manage the first one, but we couldn't step it up. So we were going to do it a bit over a longer time, but we just never got round to it. And when we started lockdown, I said this would be a good time to do it because we can actually do the prom in our, you know, because we're so close to it, we can actually run on the prom if we wanted to in our permitted exercise. So, but we still haven't 8 weeks on, so we need to. And I reckon if we'd started it at the beginning, now we'd be nearly at the end of it, wouldn't we? We'd have been on week 8 by now. So,
Yeah.
Well, I want some updates from you ladies when you start. I'll be checking.
I'll be starting today. No, maybe tomorrow.
Oh, you can't say that.
I
You've got to
will.
put it out there, set a date.
I'll start today. I'll start today.
If you can't run, walk.
Yeah,
That's how I started. What got me running was I've got a dog to walk, so I started walking the dog, and now the dog can't keep up with me, so.
Right, ladies, we're going to wrap it up there then. Can I just say, firstly, can we have a big round of applause for Sylvia? Yay! You can use your little emojis, look. Yay!
Oh, yeah.
Thank you, Sylvia. Very knowledgeable. Thank you for sharing that information. Thank you to everybody who's joined us this afternoon, as always, for getting involved and keep connecting. If you are interested in any of the Zooms that are going on, they're all on the masterclasses. If you go to the event section on our website and use the drop-down menu, we've got a couple more coming up. Not on there yet, but will be by the end of the day. So do keep popping back in there, and you should be getting our e-letter. If you're not, then just let me know. We'll make sure you receive it. And if you also are happy with the information you've received from Sylvia, please do go over to her Facebook, give it a like, give her a comment. That's all we ask at this stage. And do pass your details on if you're interested in making some purchases, etc. Is that okay, Sylvia?
Yes, thank you very much. Facebook is Lancashire Nutrition, and you'll see my picture there.
Great stuff. Thank you so much, ladies. I'll end the meeting there. And for the members, I'll see you live at 4:30 for Corona time.
Thank you, Coral. Thank you, Sylvia.
Sylvia,
Bye.
take care.
Thanks, Sylvia.
Bye.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.